Okay, let's give you guys some practice. So here you're being asked to trap this between the biggest possible value and the smallest possible value here. So this thing here represents the area from 0 to 1, from 0 to 1. So that's the true area here. Okay. But then we can trap this between the biggest possible value. So between 0 and 1. The biggest possible value, so between 0 and 1, the biggest possible value would be right here. Okay, so the height of this rectangle here would be, well, you would put the 1 into here, so that would be 9 square root of 9. So the square root of 9 would be the height of this thing here, and then you've got to times it with the width, which happens to be 1. So the biggest value that this thing could be is root 9, which is 3. Okay, so which is 3. So this height here, the biggest value here is at 3. So you would get 3 times the width, which also happens to be 3. Okay, and then the smallest value that this thing could be was you looking at this. The smallest value that this thing here could be is right here. So it's you working out this area here. Okay, so this area here, well, the minimum value here would be you putting 0 into here, so that would be root 8. Okay, so the height here would be root 8, but then you've got to times it with the width, which happens to be 1. So this is root 8. Okay, so there we've trapped this thing here between the biggest possible value and the smallest possible value here. Okay, so that then takes us to this, because root 8 gives you this. So we know that the true area here is trapped between 3 and this number here. So now we can increase the accuracy here by splitting up. So rather than just looking at one whole area, we are now going to split it up into four areas. So we are going to split up. We're going to split up into 4 areas here. Okay, so this here would be one block. This here would be another block, and then this here would be another block, and then this here would be another block. So we are now looking at 4 blocks rather than the one earlier. So now it's your turn to have a go. So split this into 4 blocks. So that's really you looking at this. So between the interval of of 0 to a quarter, 0 to a quarter, what is the biggest possible value that this thing here could be? And then yeah. So and then for this one here, you are looking at this rectangle here. You've got to ask yourself, what is the biggest value that this thing here could be, and then what is the smallest value that this block here could be? So that would be this. And then you would look at this block here, which would be from a half to which would be from a half to 3 over 4. So a half to 3 over 4. And then you've got to ask yourself, what is the biggest value that this thing here could be? And then you've got to ask yourself, what is the smallest value that this thing here could be? And then later on, you can sum up all 4 rectangles. So so now you summing up all 4 rectangles, then you can find out the biggest possible value and the smallest possible value here. Well, anyway, press pause and have a go. So now consider 4 parts rather than 1. Anyway, fill in these, okay, and these, and then sum up everything, and then yeah. So basically, get to this stage here. Okay. So hang on. So press pause and have a go. Okay. If you were to do this, you should get something like this. Okay. And then when you've done this here, you should get to this stage here. You've got to ask yourself, okay, from 0 to 1, that's you really summing up all 4 here. You summing up all 4 of these. So from 0 to 1, here, the biggest possible value, the biggest possible value that this could be would be you looking at the biggest possible value for each individual rectangle. So it's really you summing up all the biggest possible values here. That will then give you this. And then you've got to ask yourself, well, the smallest value that this could be would be you summing up all the smallest possible values. So that would be you summing up all of these. That will then give you this. Okay, so with 4 segments, it gave us a narrower band. So it's increasing. So it's in effect increasing the accuracy of this. So if you look at this with with 1 segment, it gave us this from 3. But then when we split it up into 4 segments, it actually narrowed down the width here, the possible answer here. So we've increased our accuracy with 4 segments. Okay.